Hi everyone, this is Corey from the Knitting All the Blankets podcast, and thank you for spending some time with me. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I've got a lot of fun stuff to show you. Made a lot of progress on some projects. If you're a new viewer, thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me. As I said, my name is Corey. You can find me on Ravelry as craftsbycori, all one word, and it'll be in the description box below. Also, there is a Ravelry group for this podcast, and I've had two new members. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Members. So, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. If you haven't introduced yourself in our introductions thread, please go find that and introduce yourself. I also have an Ask Me thread where you can ask me questions, and if you don't want to leave them in the description box. I also have a currently working on thread, which I updated a picture of my Mini Skein 10-stitch blanket, which we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. So, let's get started. I'm just consulting my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. So, June 2nd. Today's June 2nd, so this will be my what happened in May video, really. Well, May is my birthday month, so I got a lot of knitting related things for my birthday, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, I just want to go ahead and get my sole finished objects pile out of the way, which, as you guys just saw it past the camera, it's dishcloths again. I did get through another color of cotton yarn. It was the Burnout Lollipop, and it is a twist with red and green and blue and yellow. It looks like one of them, those really big lollipops that you get at like Disney World and stuff, that I remember begging my mom for, and she very wisely, I think, maybe only gave into that plea once, because to me, I think most of the time they were like cherry flavored or bubblegum flavored or something. Flavors that I didn't really care for. So, okay. And just double check my numbers. 6. Okay. So, 10 dishcloths. And these are made out of Burnout Lollipop, Burnout Handicrafter Lollipop cotton. And so 10 dishcloths and 1 scrubby. And of course the ends aren't sewn in because you guys know I don't do that. Well, I do that, but not before I film. I use the Grandma's Favorite Washcloth pattern. If you go to my projects page, you will see that is pretty much the only dishcloth pattern I do. I do like the little eyelet holes, personally. Some people don't. I think it just gives it a nice little design. Okay. Okay. Now on to the fun stuff. My birthday goodies. Or should I do works in progress first? How do other people do it? I don't know. I'm just going to show birthday goodies because that's what I said I was going to do. I did not get this basket for my birthday. I got this basket at the thrift store. So I've just been using it to hold some stuff. These weren't birthday. You guys have seen these before. Those are some minis from Twin Mommy Creations that I got in the Twin Mommy Creations swap that I got. Anne has been wanting to see them, and I always forget them every single time I'm going to see her. So, some of my birthday goodies. I found these. These are those electric row counters or stitch counters. You know, you just wear them on your hand, and as you knit up, you just hit the button. And I got 2 of them. These things were on the clearance rack at Walmart, and they're both pink, and I've got them on their tightest setting. Let's see if I can actually put this thing on. So, I actually haven't used it yet, to be quite honest, so I think I need to. I'm sorry if you could hear that. There are some speed demons around my neighborhood, and they like to just gun it when they go down the street. Hopefully the microphone didn't pick that up. Okay, so my grandmother got me these lovely knitting needles. They are Brittany brand knitting needles, and you can have them personalized. And she saw this one on the catalog she gets. And if you follow the Facebook page, you've seen pictures of all of this before, but she got me, these are US size 10, 6mm long. They are 10-inch needles. And my grandma had them engraved with Cori's knitting needles. So these are lovely. They feel so nice. So I don't actually know what the wood is because it doesn't say. It looks like bamboo, so I'm going to say that they're bamboo. I know other woods can be used as well because I do have a pair of rosewood knitting needles. Come on. Those away. And then my brother, the one I made that big blanket for, he got me the Takumi, the Takumi, that's how you pronounce it, interchangeable bamboo needle set. And I was so thrilled. So the case smells good. So this is what it looks like. I already have a set in use. Surprise, surprise. And what I thought was really cool is there's the instructional booklet that comes with it. And this is how the cords are stored. So this is the little 9-inch one. Let me look. Oh no. There's a 16-inch one, a 24 and 29-inch one, and I believe it's the 24 one that I have in use right now. And then on the bottom, there's a 36 and a 48-inch come on, Corey, find your words. Cable. What I also like, because I haven't bought them yet, is I can get cable connectors so that if I needed a longer cable than 48 inches, I could connect the two cables together. I haven't bought them yet, but I'm going to. So, and then that just slides into the little pocket here. Let's see if you guys can see that. It's this Takumi combo by Clover. And it's a lovely zipper case. And just to make sure it stays nice and neat, I do keep it in the box. I was very excited to get this. I've been eyeing these for a long time because you guys know I love bamboo needles. So when my mom asked me what do I want for my birthday, and I gave her some ideas, and I did say this, because these are expensive. The set from Joann's is like $160, $170, and whenever they have a decent coupon, like 60% off, they always mark these down 10%. So you can't buy them. Because I've been trying to get them, but... And then, for my wonderful husband, I gave him There Will Be Crinkling, a list of Twin Mommy Creations mini skein sets that I wanted. I also sent the list to Anne so she could make sure she had them. And I said, look, I don't care if you get me one. I don't care if you get me all of them. Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. But here's the list. I will be happy with any of them. And he got me 4 different sets. He got me the I-85 through Atlanta set. And this was actually after the Rainbow Rambo Mini Skein set that is in my that I'm still working on for the Mini Skein 10 stitch. The Rainbow Rambouillet set was Anne's first Mini Skein set. This was the second because I have been keeping the list. So this was the second one she ever put out. There's that one. And then the Picasso Moth one, which which is really pretty. Then the Sonoran Prickly Pear set. And then this one I really wanted because she made this set and it never made it onto Etsy. She made a limited number of them, took them up to the Fiber Festival thing that's in Ocala that I can never get to because Ocala is just too far of a drive for me. It was the Garden Salad Minis set. I was so happy to get this. All of these colorways do have individual names and I do have them written down in the order they're in this package. So, in all of their packages. Which is great. So, and I will eventually, like I did with my other Twin Mommy Creations Mini Skein sets, I'm going, and not only the Twin Mommy Creations ones, but the Brew City Yarns Mini Skein sets, is I will put a post-it with the colorway names on it. That way, on the off chance I, for some reason, can't remember, or I lose my original note, I know what is what, and that may seem like, sorry, crinkling, like overkill for some people, but I like knowing, being able to point at a color and go, oh, well, that's Twin Mommy Creations Into the Night colorway, or Casual Fashion Queens Voodoo, or something like that. I like being able to do that. And and all that started, by the way, when I started doing my cotton. Ooh, that's what I forgot to bring out. Hold, please. Okay, sorry about that. I completely forgot to bring out something that I wanted to show you guys. I'll do that and I'll show it to you in a minute. But there's something else I worked on. But where I was going with the naming of the colorways and everything, I'm just putting everything back in the basket, is when I first started doing my cotton scrap can, I made a list in order of what the colorways were as it went in. And to this day, I don't even really need to consult the list most of the time. I can just tell you what those colorways are. And it's a nice memory for me with that cotton scrap can. And when I decided to do the Mini Skein 10 stitch, I wanted to try to do the same thing. I know for the Lion brand bonbon sets, they're 8 little bonbons that don't have colorway names, and that's okay because I can just say the next 8 are from the Lion brand Beach package, or the Lion brand Naturals package, or the Brights, or the Crayon, or whatever it is. But when Anne started doing the Mini Skeins, I did kind of tell her, my throat's getting a little scratchy. Just water. I did tell her that, you know, minis usually have names. Hint, hint. Normally, I try to stay out of Anne's business, but I encouraged her to do Mini Skeins, and when she told me that she was going to start doing Mini Skeins, I did a little happy dance because it was very selfish of me because I wanted her to do them just for my benefit. And she knows this, by the way, so this will not be a surprise to her when she watches this video. So that is a nice lead in to works in progress. So move that big thing out of the way. I've spoken about the Mini Skein 10 stitch a lot, so I might as well show it. It is currently still in its nice little basket, but I made a lot of progress on this blanket in the last month. I honestly did stop counting rows because that was kind of taking the joy out of it for me. So I will show you. I'm gonna hold up where, okay, I hold it up this way. Where the progress keeper here is down at the bottom, I did all of this. So I got through the rest of that yellow. Yeah, the rest of this yellow. Right here. Gone into this green, which is fabulous Chartreuse Tinkerbell green, which I think looks fabulous next to the magenta. And then continued on, and I'm right here. And I just got into, see if I can hold this up. Nope. Don't you just love juggling stuff? The blue in the Rainbow Rambouillet set. So, I'm going to move this progress keeper while I'm thinking about it. Thought my phone made a noise. And we shall see come July where I'm at. If I'm done with the Rambouillet set, which with as much progress as I was making on this, I honestly thought I would be. But because I keep Anne appraised of where I am in this blanket, because I started doing this blanket with the intent of it mainly being, because at the time I didn't have any other mini skeins except hers and the Lion brand bonbons, and it was intended just to be Twin Mommy Creations mini skeins. But then I found out about Brew City Yarns and Casual Fashion Queen and Olive and 2U and all of these other wonderful indie dyers who do minis, and I'm like, yeah, no, sorry, Anne. But she doesn't care. She supports indie dyers too. So I message her every single time. It's like, I just finished the green, I'm on to the blue. And yeah, so it's great. As I try to fold this thing back up without totally losing the needle out of it. So after I'm done with the Rainbow Rambo cake, which I'm trying to be very delicate with it because I really, really do not want it to collapse. I will be devastated if it collapses. Because this is my first time knitting from a real cake as well. The next set planned is the Lion brand Bonbon Naturals cotton one, and cotton does not cake up well. Like, if you try to cake it up and take it off, it, in my experience, it does not cake up well. So I'm going to be making a magic knot ball with that one. So that's the plan after that, and then I've got an entire list, and I don't expect to be out of the other one, of the next one, for a while. I did get a lot of work done on this past month, mainly because I frogged Tiffy's shawl, which we'll talk about a little bit. Basket. Where's my basket? Okay. I'm not a delicate person, and trying to deal with that thing, I'm just terrified of it. So yeah, Tiffy's shawl, it wasn't, I held it up in the last podcast. I was doing the Grandma's Favorite Washcloth increase pattern. Frogged it because I just didn't like it. I was at 110 stitches and I just didn't like it. So I saw her yesterday, and I had frogged it by then, and I told her, hey, I want to sit down with you with the yarn that I have and really talk to you about this because I want this to be something you love. She's just tickled pink that I'm making something for her. So we designed it. I'm going to restart it. I'm going to be using the Stephen West Boneyard Shawl pattern, which I have one of those started for myself and haven't finished it. So yeah, it's like that, people. But with that shawl, it increases, when you do a row with increases, it's got 4 increases per row. So that's nice. And I think it'll just get bigger quicker. So that'll be great for her. So she likes that idea. Another thing I'm working on, because it's a new month, new cotton color. This is Bernat Lemon Drop. This is the last of the already coned up cotton that I have. So at the end of the month, or before the July video, I'm going to cone up 4 more Bernat skeins of cotton, and I will show those off then. I'm not really sure which ones I'll do. Probably another purple, because I've got 3 more of those huge Bernat skeins of purple, and I just want to get it knit up. But yeah. And after all the Bernat skeins are gone, I do have a bunch of coned, the pre-coned stuff like sugar and cream, peaches and cream. I have that I can knit on, and it fits on here fine. But I also have a ton of the cotton balls. If in a past episode I went over how many of those I got, go check out the Crafts by Cori Facebook page. And there are pictures. I'm not joking, there are pictures, I promise you. Because I have up to 30 of balls of some colors. I could make magic knot balls with those and put those on the cone. I could do that. So I have options, which I like. I like having options. The thing I paused to run and get. And talking about the cotton scrap GAN reminded me of this. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that I am a fan of the 10-stitch blankets. I do the Frankie Brown original. The Mini Skein 10-stitch is her original is the Frankie Brown 10-stitch original pattern. I wanted to try a different one, so I printed off the 10-stitch corner. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, so nothing I talk or show is going to be a surprise. I would be lying if I said that this pattern had been a breeze. It's not. It hasn't for me. I had to start and stop it a bunch of times. Frogged my thing. I used a lifeline for the first time trying to learn the reverse double corner of the pattern because it sucks. But I finally figured it out, you know, what's the saying, 236 times the charm. Put this back in here. Like, I had to write notes to myself because I foolishly thought, okay, this is another 10-stitch pattern. I can just take what I know from the other one and, you know, like, use it in here. No. No. It's not what you could do. I had to, in a fit of frustration and clarity, just told myself, it's okay. You've been trying to think about this pattern in terms of the 10-stitch original. What about just forgetting that? You know, the only thing this pattern has in common with the 10-stitch original is the designer and the fact that it uses 10 stitches. That is it. Okay. So I frogged what I had been working on back to my lifeline, got my needle back in it, and I sat down with a row counter, turned my phone off, TV wasn't on, like I had to seriously concentrate. And it took me a few more tries, but I made more progress that day than I had in a year on it, and mainly because I would get frustrated and not touch it for 6 months. So I won't say I have the reverse double corner completely figured out, because I don't, but I've got it figured out enough that I've made progress on it, and I can hold this up. Okay. Alright, just so everybody is aware, this is the corner I started on. So I came up here, did a double corner, and came back this way to here, to this point. It is, and that's where my lifeline was, and the yarn is actually kind of torn up and everything right there because of how many times I had to frog it. The first double corner is just like the instructions were the exact same as the 10 stitch original. I was actually able to just use those instructions because I personally liked the way they were written in the original pattern a lot better than they were written in this pattern. But when it came to the reverse double corner, so many words that I want to say right now. So this is the reverse double corner. Right here. That little isosceles triangle. And that thing was a bitch. Lots of cussing. Lots of frustrated cries and tears. Yeah, but I've got it to the point, and what I'm doing with this is going to be my practice piece for the corner. So the way I'm actually supposed to hold this is right here, because this is like a corner. So there was the reverse section. I did another double corner, and now I'm knitting, and I'm going to be doing another regular double corner to turn. And then once I get to about here, where I put the stitch marker, that's where I need to start the next reverse corner to turn it again. And it's slow going. It is a learning process. The yarn I'm using is just some scrap yarn I had lying around. But I will keep you guys updated on that progress. So if anybody else has done this 10 stitch corner blanket, I have looked on Ravelry. I have read the comments. Apparently, there are not many of us that have had problems with this pattern, but there are some of us. So that makes me feel a little better that I was having problems. But I'm not going to say that I got it, but I have a much better understanding of where I was going wrong, and all I've got to do now is practice some more and do this pattern. And very much like the camo 10 stitch blanket was my practice blanket to learn the 10 stitch pattern, the original 10 stitch pattern, that's what this one's going to become. I've got a whole bunch of magic yarn balls knotted up, sitting in a basket ready to be knit up into a blanket. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I have run long. My phone's about to cut off. I'm just going to say thank you for watching. Check out the Ravelry group if you have questions. If you have other questions and you don't want to go to Ravelry, please leave them down below. And I will see you guys next time.